What's up guys, so today we're going to be checking out Phaze menu for FiveM. We will be going through each of the cheats section and talking about what's risky features and what isn't, and in the end doing a little bit of trolling. But before we get right into it, tgmods.com. TGMods is one of the best store in what most would call a gamer's paradise. They have a great variety of cheats for games like Red Dead Redemption 2, FiveM, GTA 5, CS2, Rainbow Six Siege, recoveries, game accounts, Spotify accounts, and much more. All backed up with various payment methods to select from with an instant delivery service at the most cheapest prices out there. You can also join the Discord server with the links in the description for support, giveaways, and much more. Links to TGMods website and Discord server will be in the description, guys. Enjoy the video. So as you guys can see, we are in a public PvP server, and upon opening the menu we see multiple sections of the cheat. Starting with the player section, which you can see subcategories at the top, and to navigate between them it's Q and E keys. First up, the player section, and we have local player based options like health modifier, god mode, no clip, invisibility, and so on. This category is deemed safe and wouldn't trigger the anti-cheat. Onto the second subcategory being misc, and here we have local player based options, but some of it being more advanced like no ragdoll, anti-teleport, and so on. This subcategory is deemed safe as well. Onto the last subcategory of the player section being wardrobe, and here we have customizations for your outfit, and this subcategory is completely safe. Moving on to the server section, and in here we got multiple subcategories being list, safe, others, risky, vehicle, and triggers. On this subcategories, we won't be talking about what's deemed safe or not, as unsafe features are already in the risky subcategory. Starting with list, and here we get to see all the players in proximity and where you select a specific player if not all. Moving on, we have the safe subcategory, which includes options like spectate, teleport, cage, launch in air, and so on. Moving on, we have the other subcategory, and this subcategory is not working at the moment. Onto risky, and here we have much more blatant options like weapon spawner, particles, attack player, cloning, and so on. Next, we have vehicles, which includes options to mess around with players' vehicles like exploding, bug vehicle, and much more. However, I would like to mention that these options are sometimes risky and can trigger the anti-cheat. Lastly, we have the trigger subcategory, where you find server triggers, which usually would include stuff like money spawning. This subcategory is once again very risky and could get you banned fairly quickly. Onto the weapon section, and we have multiple subcategories being weapon spawner, weapon, and fun. The weapon spawner subcategory includes spawning and some options. These are all deemed safe as long as you enable the spoof weapons option. Onto the weapon subcategory, and in here we have some blatant exploits like no reload, infinite ammo, damage multiplier, and so on. These are all risky features. Lastly, we have the fun subcategory, and in here we have visual based options which are completely safe. Next up, we got the combat section, and in here we get three subcategories being aimbot, triggerbot, and ragebot. In aimbot, you get a bunch of aimbot options like your targeting, FOV, aimbot type, and so on. And these are all deemed to be safe. Onto triggerbot, and here we have a few options, all of which are safe. Lastly, we have ragebot, and this is the most blatant subcategory and has a high risk of detection. Up next, we got the vehicle section, and in here we got two subcategories being spawner and vehicle custom. In the spawner section, we get to spawn vehicles, and as long as you enable spoof spawning option, it is safe. Lastly, we have the vehicle custom, which includes vehicle customization options and some exploits, which are all safe. Onto the visual section, and we have 5 subcategories, which are all safe as they are visual functions and pretty straightforward to set up, so we will be moving on to the next section. Next, we got the miss section, and here we have 4 subcategories being general, free cam, destroyer, and RC. General includes options like time, weather customization, protections, and so on, which are safe. Free cam includes options for free cam, which are safe. Destroyer includes server destroying options which are very risky. And lastly, being remote control for vehicle and clones which are safe. Moving on, we got the settings section, which includes 4 subcategories being settings, design, bypass, and exploits. These are all cheat configurations and settings which are deemed as safe. Lastly, we have a search section where you get to search for options within the cheat. Now that we're done with Phaze menu guide, let's get on to some PvP trolling.
That you've been looking for. Quality guarantee, customer service on point. He's the one that's got the market in a chokehold, no doubt. So don't get it twisted, don't get it wrong. TGR's is the one, that's where you belong. The best reseller on the market today. TGR's the name, that's to this day.